Right off the heels of the $7.5 billion Bethesda acquisition, Microsoft might be looking for their next big purchase, but instead of going after another gaming company, this time it is about community. Welcome everybody and thank you for joining me. So the first thing that I would like to discuss today is the potential of Microsoft buying Discord. Now this is something that I have been a little bit reluctant to talk about, so I rambled about it in my news and rumor roundup video, but now we are starting to see more news regarding this story come out that makes this purchase a lot more likely. Now over the weekend we had two trusted insiders, Tom Warren from The Verge and Brad Sams, covered this topic, and it makes me a little bit more comfortable discussing the story as well. So let's just unpack everything and see how likely or unlikely this purchase actually is. So the news broke last week thanks to the Wall Street Journal that Microsoft could be buying Discord. Now the big red flag for me here was the fact that Discord approached Microsoft. I don't want to be a conspiracy guy, but there is a very common business practice where private companies will reach out to buyers pretending to be for sale, and they do this to find out exactly what the worth of their company is. They will get a bunch of different offers. Those offers will be leaked so that the public also know their worth, and then right after that the company themselves will either go public or they will use those offers that they receive as leverage in order to get more funding from investors. Now I'm not saying that this is the case with Discord, but it is something to be aware of. But now when it comes to this Discord acquisition, it is being reported that the deal is almost done. The Verge point out that Microsoft is reportedly having discussions with Discord to buy the communication app. The Wall Street Journal reports that Microsoft is in exclusive talks to acquire Discord and the deal could close next month. It is the latest acquisition target for Microsoft after the company failed to acquire TikTok and Pinterest recently. While all three are very different services, they do share one common element: community. Microsoft is willing to spend big on these services because outside of Xbox it doesn't have a huge consumer facing community like rivals Google, Amazon, Facebook and Apple do. Microsoft has watched Google acquire YouTube and turn it into the world's biggest video platform. Amazon bought Twitch and dominate streaming. Facebook acquired both Instagram and WhatsApp to control the way millions communicate and socialize online, and Apple rules mobile with its App Store. Now based on those statements, it is very clear what Microsoft is trying to do with this purchase. They are trying to get the service that already has a built-in audience, because it is one of those areas that Microsoft is really lacking in. There is just so much more that you can do with the built-in audience, and not having one just makes it a lot harder to sell your product. I have spoken about this last week, but it is one of the big reasons why Mixer failed and other streaming services like YouTube and Facebook gaming succeeds. YouTube streaming have pretty much always been a success. It might not be what Twitch is, but it does dominate in certain areas, especially big events. Facebook gaming is not far off. They have established themselves as a real contender and has shown tremendous growth. Now what does YouTube and Facebook have in common? A built-in audience of billions, and it's just a lot easier to sell your service to billions of people that are already using your product, and that is just something that Mixer never had. So if you take all of that into context, it becomes a lot clearer why Microsoft is looking to buy Discord. This is something that The Verge also points out. Discord gives Microsoft access to a growing list of more than 140 million monthly active users. That includes thousands of top YouTubers, creators and gamers. Microsoft wants its own community. Microsoft themselves has also made it clear that in the next few years they want to focus on creation. The next 10 years is going to be as much about creation as it is about consumption and about the community around it. So it's not creating alone, said Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella in a recent interview with Bloomberg last month. If the last 10 years has been about consumption, we are shopping more, we are browsing more, we are binge watching more, there is creation behind every one of those. So Microsoft already spend a massive amount of money on other companies like LinkedIn, which they bought for $26.2 billion. So it's not too crazy to think that they might have $10 billion to spend on Discord. Now the big question here is, how will Discord fit into Xbox? Well, I think the answer is very simple here. Discord can be used for many social interactions, but when it comes comes to gamers, so many use Discord to communicate with each other, and that is exactly that part that Xbox is looking to integrate. Now, this is something that The Verge also touch on. If Microsoft is successful in its acquisition attempt, the crossover between Discord and Xbox are obvious. Xbox chief Phil Spencer has previously discussed the importance of Discord as a place where people come together to talk about games, watch games, and watch other people play games. That should have been Mixer, but the user base wasn't there. The Discord acquisition could tighten the integration between Xbox PC and Discord at the moment when consoles are basically turning into powerful PCs. Now, a big part of gaming for Xbox is community and how those communities interact with each other. And when it comes to interacting with each other in game, I think Discord does have a huge advantage over the competition. Xbox integrating that into their setup could give them a massive advantage over the other competition. Phil Spencer has been open to crosstalks between Xbox Party Chat and Discord for years, and it is reasonable to assume that it would be a priority for Microsoft to bring Discord to Xbox if the deal goes ahead. This type of integration would only make Xbox more appealing than PlayStation, just as Microsoft's $7.5 billion Bethesda acquisition is designed to boost Xbox Game Pass with exclusive games. I do see lots of potential here for Microsoft and Xbox. The only thing that we will have to wait on is whether or not this deal actually goes through. Right now it is still very unclear. I do see the potential of this happening, which is why I don't just want to dismiss the idea. This is a sensible purchase for Microsoft, and it is something that could bring great value. I do see a clear connection between Discord and Xbox. Now, I also know that there are some people who might just be a little bit concerned with this purchase, and I do not blame them. Microsoft might have a bit of a reputation of buying companies and then just making a bunch of changes that just ends up not working, like what they did with Skype, but I also think that since then there has been a lot of positive changes. Microsoft has made a lot of purchases over the last couple of years, and I have seen a trend lately where they just leave the companies to do their own thing, which I always think is the best approach. Just let the people who built the service to begin with to continue to do what they do. There is no need to make changes if it worked up until this point, and I think that is a hard lesson to learn, but Microsoft definitely did learn it, at least in my opinion. Now, as I've said, I did see some people upset with the idea. The comment sections was just filled with people that say that if Microsoft does make this purchase, they are just done with Discord. Now, it is easy to just dismiss those people, but I also think it is the responsibility of Microsoft and Xbox to come out here and ensure those people that there are still value, and also just make their intentions clear. If there was a service that I use every single day and all of a sudden it's just being bought out, I would be stressed out too, but I do guess that we just need to wait and see exactly what happens over the next month or two. We have seen this before with other acquisitions that just falls through, so we need to wait and see how this one plays out. But on that note, this is where I'm going to end it. So if you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button. If you would like to see more videos like this, please consider subscribing, and as always, please remember to stay safe, wash your hands, don't touch your face, and I hope to see you again soon.